There are specific mechanics in 5e that I really like, and there are some I wish were a bit more gritty or OSR. I want to talk about how I plan on making my game feel grittier or harder, more like the Renaissance, without making it actually harder or break the game or make it uninteresting. And to do so, I'm going to rely on a cool tabletop RPG, 5 Torches Deep. Hey there, I'm new to Dungeon Mastery. This series is for me to talk about my game sessions, see what I learn, and be a healthy self-critique, and see where I can improve. Also, I want to talk about any homebrew stuff that I either am stealing or just trying to work on to mod my own games. It's really all about me and making it my thing. We play D&D weekly on Twitch and re-upload them here on YouTube, and I release this series regularly. So please consider subscribing and push that like button if this is the kind of stuff you want to keep up with. And of course, we have an active Discord linked below if you want a place to talk about Fables content and tabletop RPGs, or just play D&D with people over Discord. Just to get it out there, I don't really care if Wizards of the Coast adds these mechanics. I am going to, because I like the narrative of the world and the world that I'm making. 5 Torches Deep is made by Ben Dutter and Jessica Dutter, and their amazing art and design team. FTD strips 5e to its skeleton and fleshes it out with OSR elements, the goal being to provide an old school experience to those familiar to the 5e system. Might sound perfect for me. So what are the key ingredients to FTD that I want to inject into my personal game? Throwing it out there, load and encumbrance. Equipment can be broken, repaired, or crafted. Let's just try to cover those two. There's a lot more though. Just so you know, a lot of what I'm going over is ripped from FTD. If you want to get your own hands on it, go support them and try the game out. So let's start with load and encumbrance. I'm going to remove pounds from my game basically. Items and weight are tracked by the term load. Each item the size of a human head or 5 pounds is considered one load. PCs are able to carry loads equal to their strength score without issue. So if I have a strength score of 15 loads. Heavy armor is 5 loads, light armor is 2 loads. Items and weapons are 1 load per each hand. Carrying load over your strength score causes you to be over encumbered, which reduces your speed by 5 feet every point above your strength. And it also forces disadvantage on all ability checks and dexterity saving throws. This makes the return trip from a treasure hoard far, far more interesting. It makes hirelings and sidekicks and wagons and piece of burdens more valuable and forces the PCs to spend their money in a very logical way. Sure, at the table we can just roll for the return trip like a quick travel. There's still costs, time, or money. Plus you never know if a bandit's gonna come steal the gold while you're trying to go back and forth. That's gonna be an interesting encounter. And that's basically the load and encumbrance mechanic from 5 Torches Deep. What you can carry is based off your strength score. Simple as that. We made some generalizations about what the load of an item is, like how heavy it is. 1 strength score, 2 strength score, or 5 strength score. You know, like it makes so much more sense to me if you want to track how much you're carrying versus pounds. So now I want to talk about my favorite 5 Torches Deep mechanic. Durability. I don't think I had to shift it around that much. I think what they have there is extremely awesome. It gives armor a new life of its own, especially shields. It gives you the ability to repair and craft. I know it's not the funnest thing to do, to be like, I'm playing a game and now I have to spend the next 20 minutes repairing or crafting an item. But I think there's something fun when you jump into a dungeon dwelling game that like, hey, I use my sword a lot and I need to make sure it's sharp and ready for the next battle. Just like the people in Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. I want to go see that blacksmith. That's kind of the part of the feeling in the world of playing these kind of games. Equipment, so your gear, your weapons, your shield, your armor, all have durability points. Basically HP for your items, but it's max like 5 versus whatever your character could get. So from a point system of 1 to 5 durability, the higher the number, the stronger the item is. Glass and cloth, as an example, 1 durability point. Metal or mythical items, you know, is 3+. Let's say you have some nice metal armor, 5 durability points on your armor. But does that mean now every battle just chips away at my armor? Between every battle, I have to go fix my armor or buy new armor, burn through my cash? No. When an item is used as part of a check, weapons for attack, armor for defense, it might take damage. Rolling a critical failure or suffering from an enemy's critical success reduces the item's durability by 1. Once it hits 0, the item is considered broken, and only repairing it can restore the durability. Otherwise, you're gonna have to get a new one. I like the idea that items can break. It's temporal. It's not like like I buy this mithril armor and it just lasts me forever. I love the buffer of only extremes on nat 1 and nat 20 are what actually affect my armor or my weapon's durability. Shields are actually interesting. They can trade HP damage for durability damage. Like a shield would actually be realistic this way. A PC can declare that they're going to use their shield as a reaction to take the hit, so the shield actually blocks them. If a bad guy goes to hit them and they get amazing damage, I use my reaction to block it with my shield. If I use my shield as a reaction to take the hit, it loses a durability point. If the enemy is attacking with a nat 20, that's 2 durability points. If the shield has 2, then it breaks. But that just saved somebody's life. And on top of saving that character's life, it was an active choice by the player, rather than I'm wearing this shield and my AC is now up by 2. It's like easy mode. I like it that you have to choose to use your shield. Something they do in FTD is they simplify chainmail, for example, as 3 durability points. There's an ice cream truck out there and you can't hear it because of my AI voice thing, but goddamn that truck, it's annoying. It's just me waiting. Okay. The thing that I really like about durability is you can now haggle creative differences. You know, when you go to a shop to get chainmail armor, sure, there's a difference between a chain shirt and a chain mail, and those two can have different durabilities. You can ask for elven, which has different durability than human or dwarven. You can add to your armor and make it more durable. Just customize stuff and you have more variables that affect mechanics when playing. The resources that required me to make my own armor the way I want to make it is the money, time, the weight, which is considered in load, which is just easier to understand than pounds, and the durability. Like me playing the blacksmith, I can say, well, we can make it lighter, but it's going to be a little bit lower on the durability. Unless if you can find this material to help really fill in the gaps. I just activated a quest. So there's a lot more reward that you can come off with just adding these 2 variables to equipment. Load and durability. I really like it. God, I love the shield usage. Pairing equipment is possible during rest or downtime, and each durability point costs 1 hour of repair time, regardless of checks, proficiencies, or getting help from a smith. Maybe if you're getting help from a smith, I might speed it up. So the more durable the item, the harder it is to repair, but it's the cost of better protection. Now, crafting. Crafting items from scratch takes many hours and materials. A character must be proficient in the tool and the item's use that they're trying to build. Make sense? You need to know how to use the thing that you want to make. And here's where crafting becomes really personal and cool. It takes roughly 4 major stages. Forging, which is making a disposable workstation like a crucible or sawhorses, and it's finding the correct components needed, like mining and gathering. Then you need to prep it, which is ready the components for the item, like smelting the ore or treating the wood. Assembly, which is when you're combining the materials and shaping and tempering and connecting everything together. Honing is the final stage. It's when you finally convert the rough items into the polished, sharpened, ready-to-use tool. Each stage has a check for crafting, starting at DC 11 intelligence, but might increase depending on the rarity of the item and maybe your research. Each step takes a half a day of work. Failure at any point ruins the item and wastes the material. But it won't be for nothing. If you fail and waste the materials, the DC for the next attempt will be lowered by 1d4 per check. Sounds like probably the most solid crafting system that I've heard so far. Woo! Okay, that was a lot. There's even more in this system that I want to talk about later, so I'll go over them in a future episode. They just give me more motivation for PCs to deal with some basic mundane stuff that exists in the world. I really like it. Do you need to visit a blacksmith, or do you want to try doing it yourself? Are you strong enough to carry that? If not, your fighter probably is. Do you want to craft a new item from scratch and add something cool to your armor and weapons? Do you want to hire NPCs to help carry the gold out of the cave? Or do you want to risk carrying everything and be an easy target for bandits? Or do you want to risk coming back another day and finding your loot stolen? It's not groundbreaking ideas, but they have subtle ones that mechanically had more narrative to the world and the world building and the overall campaign. All right, I need to get back to work. I can't wait to talk about session 6, but I do have something super interesting for next time. I want to talk about why I hate dark vision. I really dislike it. Stay safe, say hi to your neighbor, and don't forget to use your THACO. Bye.